By the way, do you think ethics training works?
No.
No. You guys keep graduating from here and you keep going out and stealing from people. And what do? They say, well, you need to teach them ethics. I'm like, they were criminals when they came to me, right? Do you think I'm going to stand up here and say, but that's wrong? Well, I do say that, right? But does it change? Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm on a soapbox there. What was that? No. So now you're going to make me have to give the damn speech. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. What is, and you guys should have learned this in your B-Law class, what is the basement of ethics? What's the bottom that you can do, that you should do?
Anything that's not legal.
Yeah, anything that's not illegal. So you must obey the law. Are there things that are legal that you might think are not necessarily ethical? Yeah. Should you do those things? No. No. So when I started out doing this it was 2003, and I taught some students about how to launder money, just to show them how the bearer bond worked. And one of them raised their hand and says, should we do that? And I said, no, because it's wrong. And that was enough. 2 years later, I'm giving the same talk, maybe 3 years later, I'm giving the same talk, and someone raises their hand and says, should we do this? I said, no, because it's wrong. And they say, but is it illegal? And I said, yes, it's illegal. And that was enough. 5 years later, I'm giving this talk, and someone says, should we do this? And I said, no, because it's wrong. And they said, but is it illegal? And I said, yes. And I thought that would be enough, but it wasn't. And they said, what is the penalty if I get caught? And I told them. And then they said, what's my chances of getting caught? See, they were going to take a swag. They're going to do expected value. If it's a 10-year prison sentence and there's only a 15% chance of you getting there, that's really only a year and a half in prison expected value, right? Whew. And it was at that point that I invited my high school friend in to start coming in and giving talks to my classes. Something you need to know about my high school friend. He's smarter than I am by about 3 ACT points. He went to Mizzou and got a finance degree, and he became a stockbroker. And eventually he ran a Ponzi scheme. Smart kid, and a decent man, I would say. He's a decent man. But he got tempted, and he was weak. And so then he went to prison, federal prison, for 7 years. When I bring him in to talk to students, suddenly there's no more discussion of whether or not it might be worth it to commit crimes. Because he tells about things like having to wear your boots to the shower so you can run in case there's a riot, and having to take the plastic chair from your cell with you to the shower to use as an instrument to hold off other inmates while you try to... Do I have to explain to you why that's important? That's why they make the chairs out of plastic in prison. Well, that, so they don't kill each other with them, but so they won't rust when they take them to the shower. Would you like to live like that? Oh, Mr. Stith, there you go. That's the right answer. No, it's not worth it. So if any of you ever decide that maybe a life of crime is worth it, by the way, he went to the most minimum security, club-fed kind of joint you could go to, and he still saw a transvestite stab a man with cancer with a turkey bone to death, right? I mean, you talk about seeing some weird, violent shit. This is club-fed. It's supposed to be the easiest prison out there. Do you understand my point now? Now, who was it that asked about ethics? That said, screw ethics? Mr. Stith? You kind of look like my friend that went to federal prison.
I retract my statement.
Oh, very good. He retracts his statement. Okay.
How long was
Ladies' prison, not any better.
How long was he successful until he got shut up?
Oh, he's asking how long...
How much money did he, like...
You know what's
before he got
interesting
caught?
is he only stole like $1 million or $2 million. He said, I could have done 100. I said, well, I guess you had some ethics left. He said, I never thought I'd get caught. And he said the reason he got caught was one of his clients was trying to help out her nephew who just got a job with Edward Jones. And she was just transferring some assets over so her nephew could have something to manage. And when they reached out, Edward Jones reached out to pull those assets from my buddy's account, it wasn't there. Which Edward Jones is a good company. They have a strong back office. They immediately reported it to the state attorney general. And then he gets a phone call. And then it just goes down to hell from there. He said he was very relieved the day that they came and got him. When people get stressed, and he said he was working harder to cover up the scheme than he was at his regular job. He was making statements at his own house. I mean, he's had a graphic print shop basically going to produce these fake statements. His wife had no idea what was going on. He's in there printing out this stuff. This is work, right? Okay, so he put on like 200 pounds and he was smoking like 4 packs a day. And he said he was one donut away from a heart attack when they busted him. And he was relieved. And he's really healthy today. I still keep in touch with him. In fact, he's an electrician now. And every time I do electrical work, I call him up. He comes, he does a great job. Anybody here still considering becoming a criminal? Okay, good.